Do you want to be able to make $1,500 in 20 minutes? Well, that's what we did last class that we did on YouTube. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel where hopefully we're showing you that trading is as easy as you make it on yourself. Tonight we're going to go over a couple of the trades we reviewed 2 weeks ago, I guess a couple of weeks ago, I'll have to check the date, on YouTube, completely live, completely free, costs you nothing. You can set up a demo account, you can set up a paper trading account, and follow along as you're learning this skill set. Because this skill set can inevitably pay you an endless amount of money. But I'm not the teacher or preacher who talks about stuff like that. I'm just trying to help as many people achieve a little bit of peace of mind money, a little bit of financial freedom money, so they can do what they want in life, right? So they can spend their time, life, and money doing the things that they enjoy or pursuing their bleeding heart causes, right? The things that we know we're called to do, those types of things. So with that said, of course, I'm going to have to stop here to say, hey, here's our disclaimer. Everything we do is not legal, investing, financial advice whatsoever. All of this stuff is completely up to you. My only hope is to help build a community where people are able to take trades, whether that be on stocks, Forex, or crypto, and know how to manage them appropriately. I don't care what system you use. I just care that you do something in a duplicatable manner so you can have duplicatable results. That's all. So obviously, please know that this is recorded. I do a lot of high risk reward stuff. I use a lot of EAs, a lot of managers, and a lot of awesome tools to help me be successful in this industry. But I do these things live, free on YouTube to show you that you don't need to be a genius to figure this out. You don't have to know everything to figure it out. You don't have to understand what ATR is and pips are. I mean, eventually you're going to want to evolve to that point. Don't get me wrong. I'm just simply saying that you don't have to know it all to make money. You don't even have to have the world's best strategy and best system to be able to truly, honest to God, make money in this industry. So how we're defining a pip before we move any further, we know that their variations are intense. From country to country, currency to currency, and broker to broker, the differences are as vast as the sea is from the east to the west kind of concept, right? So for purpose of conversation and normalizing, right, the value of a pip, we're considering that to be approximately $10 per pip based off of one standard lot size. That's pretty standard across the board for US dollar pairs. I know it fluctuates from other currencies. A pip in terms of measurement, if you use MT4, I'm looking at that middle number when you hold your crosshairs up and it shows you the number in between, right? It shows it to you in points. So we're subtracting that last digit. So we're minusing the last digit or dividing that number, the whole number by 10, and that gives us the pip count for what we're referencing. So now that we've kind of defined all of that, you know where we're getting it with it. I think that's all I've got in terms of this. So I've got a couple of new trades to go over with you. So as you guys know, this is a 6-figure trading journal. I use this in my live classes in the morning where we're up almost 1 million pips in total from the last couple of years, 230-ish thousand this year alone. And that's working really part-time, right? That's trading very minimally. That's not even considering all of the, ins and outs and other trades you can take. That's literally 2 days a week. That's it. Morning classes, blah, 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 blah. So you guys get the whole deal. That is inside the community. If you're interested in being a part of that, we have quite a few tools that are available as part of that membership. You can find that information in the link tree for the Discord membership and eventually the website. After we have 100 subscribers, I have several EAs I'm going to be releasing. And even before then, I've got a couple coming soon. So kind of excited, but let's talk about how we did on 8/8. Okay, we looked at only 3 pairs. Today is the 23rd. 22nd, so it's the 23rd on UTC time, but today's will be the 23rd. So how we did, we took one Neo trade and their pip count is kind of janky, but we know what we're using. We know exactly where that reference is coming from. Technically, it never came up to the activation point, but I took that trade live in class at the same time, so I was in it. It consolidated for, a week and a half and then just tanked it. There was no stopping it. It fell off the mountain like an avalanche. So the pip count's not very high. Actually, the total stop, I think, was 3.5, 4-ish pips, but we're rounding because we know we always use an ATR cushion. So not bad at all. The win would have been about the same. That's the value of this pip. It's just how it goes. EURNZD has played out perfectly. We are currently at a retracement level. I think EURNZD, the NZD pairs in general, have some room to the downside, but overall the trade still is valid, technically speaking, just so everyone knows. And of course, GBP Chef, we made over 78 pips, still holding more room. Beautiful, perfect trade. That was the one that I was waiting for in the Chef to move first. It happened. And now, of course, I'm looking at some other things. So what does that equal? For people who don't know what a pip is, a pip is a pip. People who don't know this stuff yet. I want to focus just right here. we're calling these trades. You can do them on the demo account. You can do them on paper trading. The value of each one of those pips, okay, so 1 week it's high, 1 week it's low. These are just indices, for example, is approximately, we know there's variations, at a 0.01 lot size, okay? That's a 10 cents per pip value. That still means per hour, where you're making about $597 per hour, considering these calls are about 20 minutes. That means thus far in this 6 weeks, in these 20-minute calls, that's about what that's worth. Now, granted, there's technically more pips on the table. Granted, there's a lot more room. Technically, you can take bigger lot sizes, blah, 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 blah. But this one right here is where I'd really like to highlight. I'd really like to kind of focus in here. This is a standard, well, no, that's not even true. That's a 0.1, I should have said. 0.1. So look at that. That's over $6,000, okay? And at the standard lot size, which is $10 per pip, just what we accomplished in that 20-minute call, only with 3 trades, including the loss. Here's what that looks like. That looks like a boatload of money, but 158 times 10, you're looking at about $1,500 that you would have made in, 20 minutes. So even if you failed at that by 50%, even if you mismanaged it or took half of that lot size, that's what the value of this skill set is to you. Most people are starting all of these side hustles and drop shipping and now they have blogs and let me become an influencer and, do the stuff on Instagram and do all the things, right? The reality is you have access to so much more than that in this industry right here at your fingertips. No boss, no nothing at all. So that's enough on that. I'm not going to harp on that any longer. We got 158 pips for last week, up a total of 12,000. You guys, there's no way around it. The majority of those big ones are indices. Well, this one's an exotic. But all the big, that's also an exotic. Exotic or indice. That's where the big pip counts come from. The smaller ones, couple hundred, 10, 20, 30, 50, those are Forex pairs. Remember, you can make 2% on an index just as easily as you can make 2% on a Forex. It all comes down to how you're managing, what lot sizes you're using, et cetera, et cetera. So that's all I've got here. Let's go take a look. Remember, we're going to be reviewing these 3 trades, and then we've got a couple new ones for you tonight. Please, if you have not already done so, sign up with a demo account. I don't care which broker. All of the brokers I use, I think I need to add one, are in the link tree. If you don't have one, please do sign up. Paper trading, demo only, and just follow along. Download the platform. You can do no wrong if it's a demo broker. You literally press as many buttons as you want. You can break it if you want. Doesn't matter. Just practice with it, right? Just get you comfortable on the platform and attempt to follow along with these trade ideas with me. If it fails, it fails, right? If you say this chick is crazy, that's fine. This chick is crazy. But I want you to see what's possible. Just see. Remember that in general, we're using the structure as a stop loss, and we're always protecting within about 1 ATR or 25 to 50 pips. I say 25 to 50 because, well, some of the pairs move 60, 70 pips in a day. Some of them move 200 pips in a day. And that average is pretty diverse. That's why we try to teach and preach about ATR, ADR, but I understand not everybody knows that. So let's go take a look at these 3 for review just to show you in real time what we did last week. And then, of course, we've got a couple new ones for you tonight. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back on these charts. Let's take a look. Remember, these were the 3 pairs that we were looking at. They're purple in color right now. These are the 3 that I'm looking at today to look for a new trade idea. So let's start with our review, and then I'll do my spiel. This red line is just that big gap. We are sitting at session crossover, so it's going to be pretty huge. It's just the bid and ask line. You'll notice this moved about 88, 89-ish pips, give or take. That circle's in the way. Overall, again, this trade technically still has more room. I am going to clear the board on it because I think the NZD pairs have some downside pressure. So this is a nice impulse, nice flag. I don't want to still be looking for a new buy if this does end up breaking out to the downside. So we got our 88 pips-ish. I'm done. I'm out. I'm going to remove these, okay? Take that off of my watch list. NEO is next. Man, I even told everybody to use a pending, and I did. I put in another alert to have a pending. So as you guys can see, we never came up into that range. Let me minimize. We never came up into that. Now, granted, if you had a pending or an alert, for example, this could have activated here. Otherwise, it's never technically activated. But as you all can see, man, we just blew past that. We blew past that so hard, there was no turning back. So overall, looking to the left, our biggest structure is what, 4-ish pips away, 3.5, 4-ish pips. Adding that ATR on there, you're still looking at, I think it was 5.5 is what I typed in, and rounded up to 6 to give you an idea of how many pips you lost on this particular pair. So not bad. It is what it is. 6 pips doesn't sound like much, but if you took a 2% trade, those 6 pips are still worth 2%, just like it would have been 2% if you took a 60 pip trade, right? So the pips are a little misleading or have the potential to be. We do that just to kind of show and to teach as we go. But there we go. NEO is off our watch list. This one, I am going to have the audacity to keep up. I'm not going to remove it. I'm going to keep it up for next video that I make. Here's where we were looking. We consolidated. We failed to make a lower low. So other than that nice big fat spread here at session crossover, we're already up 80-ish pips, like I said. We have pulled down again. I'm looking for more. So we've already come up to one level. I'm looking to come up even further. If I go to the day time frame, just to give you guys an idea, this is also forming a flag pattern potentially, a little wedge, but I still think we've got some room to push up into this area. So I'm going to keep this one up just to see. If you're in this and you're still holding, please make sure you protect your profit and let the rest run. See how it plays out. If you're looking for a new entry, wow, look at that gap. Licky, licky. Licky, licky. Right now we're pushing down a little bit. So we obviously have to wait that first hour or so after session crossover. But we'll see as we break out above this level, not in the next hour or two. You guys can potentially look for a new entry. Otherwise, I'm still holding. I'm still in profit. And I'm going to see worst case scenario. I get knocked out with whatever I've got left running. And I can live with that. So I'm going to keep that up purple and ready to go. So before I go into 1, 2, 3, let's see. As quickly as humanly possible, I'm going to do this. This is the 1 hour. We know that in general, we're looking at the 4 hours. So I tried to make this duplicatable, which means I'm not allowed to hop around as much, right? Not allowed. So there's a lot setting up on the 1 hour. There's just not a lot ready right now on the 4 hour. So because of that, I am going to use my mouth and tell you some of the things that I do think are possible. And then we're going to go over the 3 trade ideas. So odd USD, I think has a potential by sitting up. 1 hour it's ready, 4 hour it's not. So we're going to skip it. EURJPY is sitting at a huge level all the way to the daily. This level has been respected for a hot minute, all the way back in January 2022, to give you an idea. So this is kind of in a magnetized area, if you will. So we're sitting there again. We did break a little lower low. That could just be the spring before the short-term impulse to the upside. Looking for a decent chunk of pips, but it's not ready right now. I was looking this morning. I was pretty excited, but we just dropped and have not turned around to give you guys an idea. So I'm looking for several hundred pips in total out of this. Obviously, do your own due diligence, your own analysis, but keep an eye on this. I'm just kind of curious how it plays out in the next few weeks. No trade idea for me, but definitely worth keeping your eyes on it for you. GBP USD also is pulling down currently, but I'm looking for potential buy. NZD USD, I'm looking for potential buy. It's ready on the 1, not ready on the 4. So I can't validly call it. It's not even close enough, to where I could kind of finagle it. I can't do it. Can't do it. So I'm going to skip all of those. Gold. Ooh, baby, baby. I want this on my spreadsheet so bad. 1 hour. I caught a lot of this move. We're already back down into this range. Nice impulse move. We're still failing to break lower lows. I think this has got a definite buy potential. But again, not ready for what we're doing on this call. But it's worth your time. And I'm just giving out free trade ideas here. So do yourself a favor. Go to your paper trading account and go see. Right now, we're sitting at the price point of $18.90. This is a very magnetic price point. We usually get a pretty big reaction in and around this point anyways. We've got a 4 hour head and shoulders. We've got structure. We've got a lot of things that are this basket of information, right? This basket of confluence. So do your due diligence and take a look. I'm going to skip all of those. Ooh, I'm not going to do all of them. Odd CAD, also looking for potential buy. CHFJPY, looking to sell this again. We took one big entry. I took another entry this morning, looking for a definite sell on that. EURCAD, I'm looking for a sell. So as you can see, there's a lot setting up. They're just not all ready. And because I can't take every Euro pair or NZD pair, I've got the 3 that I picked out this morning. So you're doubled down on NZD and doubled down on Euro. Now that we went through all that whole hammer of information, same thing here, by the way, looking for that to potentially sell. It's just not ready. It's beautiful on the 1 hour. Just not ready on the 4. But hopefully that helps a little bit. Let's look at the 3 actual trade ideas. Remember, these are the trade ideas that I'm hoping you're running this 4 hour trade experiment with me on. I'm hoping you're actually putting this in your paper trading account. I'm hoping you're actually putting this, if you've got a couple $100 just to play around with, put it on your live trading account, put a very small percentage risk, and just see what this looks like in a few months. Most people overcomplicate this industry, and it doesn't have to be that complex. So hopefully at the end of this, we'll be able to see what this actually looks like. But starting from the left to the right, my friend, EURJPY, we do have our 4-hour JGS, Jenny's Golden Strategy, confirming that it's a good time to enter. Mind you, that's a pretty thick spread. I'm going to put this exactly where price is at. I'm going to turn this into a red active line for selling, okay? And I'm also going to be in this in my broker that I'm doing the same thing on. So looking for a sell on this pair. Now, mind you, that's a pretty steep, let's just use this tool. My stop loss is still going to be above structure with some room, okay? About a 1 ATR basket of room. Figure if we're paying for that double top, we're at least coming into, come on, silly butt. Thank you. About a 1.5 to 1, give or take. Let's find out how big this measured move is. That's 137, 164, 190. So my minimum target is into here. Overall, I still think we've got more room to come down and push this level around. That's going to give us a much better risk to reward. But as long as we're averaging better than that 1-to-1, and remember, I've got several years history that says, hey, the basket of all the trades, the ones that I close early, the ones that barely hit a couple of take profits, and everything in between, I'm averaging better than a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. The reason why my average can be that high is because enough of the big trades pay for the little ones. That's all it is. Remember, you can be extremely profitable even if you're averaging a 1.2 to 1. You don't need to have a perfect 10 to 1. You don't need it. So stop looking for them and wasting your time. Maybe look for ones that you know you can count on in the big picture, in the big basket of trades. But that's one. Euro JPY is one. Let's go to mark this up so it's easier for me to find it in 2 weeks. Candle prior to the one that we're on. Okay. Looking for that sell. A little bit unfortunate in terms of where we have to put this. So I'm definitely going to say, hey, wait till this gap closes because it does gap down a little bit. Just get a slightly better entry. That's all. I'm going to solidify that line. Basically wait for an hour after session crossover at least, and then you're going to get that better price. But you'll be in that same area, give or take a couple of pips. Same thing with EURNZD. I'm pretty, how do I say that? Am I bullish? I'm bullish on NZD. So this being the second pair, yes, I think I'm saying that right. Bullish on NZD, so looking for this to sell down because NZD being stronger than Euro. That's what I'm looking for. So same thing here. Wait for this to pull up a little bit. Let session crossover do what it's going to do. Let that kind of pull up a little bit and get your best entry. You can do so by going to the 1 minute time frame. Otherwise, you can put a pending here. You can put a pending here. Those couple of pips are not going to make a huge difference. Take a look at what this risk to reward is going to look like. Let's see. All the way up there, plus some room. That's a kind of big ask. This is a big mover. It's a big mover. To give you an idea, it might be. I would think it's more than that. No, that's accurate. It's already recalculated for me. Here we've got about a 2 to 1 risk to reward ratio. I'm looking for price to come into here. Granted, I'm going to be protecting as we hit this previous level. Without a doubt, I'm going to protect at that kind of 0.7 to 1. I'm going to be scaling out of some of my position and then waiting for it to come here. As we break this level, I'm coming all the way down into this target. So not a bad way to be. Beautiful overall trade. Definitely know that this can pull back and have a little retracement before we get the continuation. So if you really care about drawdown, just wait for that to complete and then you're good to go. Last but not least, NZDCAD. Again, bullish on NZD. Bullish on NZD. I'm going to zoom in just to kind of play for a minute. Notice how our 8 is crossing our 50, but it's also dipping back down as we speak, right? So I'm going to go ahead and put this here. We've got our valid entry. Now, mind you, it's not actually solidified until we get the break above this candle, technically for the considerations. It's not actually ready yet, okay, at that point. It's just not. So you guys can see how wide that spread is right now. It is enormous. So we're not taking an entry on that at this very second. So this is going to be a little difficult. Right now we're pulling back down. I am going to do a pending on this. So remember, we're not there now. You're going to have to wait till at least an hour after session crossover. That's why I try not to record at this time. So I'm going to do green and perforated line, meaning after the close of this candle. So that means you got some time. We're looking for the continuation around this price point. That's going to follow the actual rules of the actual strategy. That's it. Those are the 3 trades that I'm really looking for tonight. Let's show you what that risk to, here we go. I'm going to move it down to here. It's going to listen, follow my command. Looking for my first reaction is going to be into here. You'll notice that's about a 1.5 to 1. That's one of the reasons I like this trade. Is even on the smaller case scenario, you're still beating that 1 to 1. It just makes it a really simple, easy, lower risk trade. In general, though, in the big picture, I'm looking more for something like this. Let's show you. Come on, baby. I'm looking for us to come and retest this level, which is closer to a 5-to-1, 4.75, 5-to-1, probably closer to 5 once that spread settles down and price settles down. So overall, great trade, great way to be. Just looking to come up and retest this level. Figure we're going to get a reaction at that 2-to-1, 1.5-to-1 without a doubt. So make sure that you're protecting within that 1 ATR. Okay, 1 ATR, 25 to 50 pips if you're not very comfortable with ATR. And that's it. So this is the last Tuesday call before our challenge starts next week. So we did not do a whole bunch of live videos announcing this, but what we're going to do is somehow involve the general public. So if you've listened this far in this recording and you're not currently in our community, what I want you to know is we're starting a compounding/prop firm challenge next week. In that challenge, of course, we're going to be giving away a $1,000 cash prize to our member for following this set of criteria. I'll tell you all about it on another video. But for the general public, we also have some goodies there too. So if people want to participate, please make sure you comment below. All I'd really do is require the participation, meaning you're sharing kind of what you're doing in terms of the trades you're taking, and be willing to be on video with me at least once to review them. So you take this basket of trades over the next 2 to 4 weeks or what have you, and we say, cool, you've compounded by this percentage, or hey, you did pass your challenge, right? I want to be able to go over those trades with you so I can help you get from where you're at to where you're trying to go in terms of your prop firm journey, or of course in terms of your compounding journey. So we'll be announcing all of that stuff live on YouTube. My team is working tirelessly behind the scenes. And with that said, please keep your eyes out. I hope you guys have a beautiful, happy week. Get outside because it's the nicest part of the year, right? It's hot here in Florida. It is a beautiful time of year. So make sure you're doing that. And I hope you guys have an awesome day. Take care and God bless.